Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever had a month where your TBR just looked at you like, girl, did you forget about me? What happened? So March was not the reading girly era for me that I had planned, but the books that I did manage to finish were total gems. And today I'm going to share 3 of them that are available on Kindle Unlimited that I think you need to add to your TBR if you haven't read them yet. I've got Storm Chasing Professors, Hot Vampire Neighbors, and one morally gray vampire warlord who unexpectedly made me soft. So let's just get into them. Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers Book Blog, and today we're diving into my Kindle Unlimited favorites from what I read in the month of March of 2025. Before we get into the books, can we just talk about how weird March was? So I don't know if it was just me, the weather, the time change, or it was just one of those months, but I definitely didn't read as much as I was planning to. It kind of felt like it was a transition month, lots of mental downtime, low energy, and honestly, I was in a bit of a reading funk. If you've been feeling the same way, just know that you're not alone, and sometimes your brain just needs to rest more than it needs your 5-book binge. And that's okay. That being said, I did manage to squeeze in a few stories that totally swept me away when I did feel up for reading. That also meant that when I was in the mood for reading, I was just breezing right through those books, and I just had lots of gaps of just not wanting to pick up a book. And I listened to myself. And those exact books that I just wanted to just breeze right through and finish as soon as possible, those are the ones that I'm going to recommend to you today. So these were the KU reads that stood out to me in March, and 100% worth your time if you're in the mood for something a bit spicy and just totally addictive. So the first one is a contemporary romance, and it's Whirlwind by Kayla Gross. If you're in the mood for a romance that kind of just sweeps you off of your feet quite literally, then I recommend Whirlwind. It's a must read. It's a story that introduces us to Finley Buckley, a determined master's student with her sights set on storm chasing. And her mentor is none other than the renowned and, let's be honest, irresistibly attractive Professor Riker West. The catch here is that yes, there is a significant age gap and he's her professor, which adds, of course, a layer of tension and a forbidden element to their dynamic. Their professional boundaries are put to the test when a tornado chase turns dangerous, and it thrusts them into life-threatening situations that blur the lines between duty and desire. The adrenaline of chasing storms mirrors the intensity of their growing attraction, which makes every interaction supercharged and unpredictable. So for those who appreciate an age gap romance with a forbidden professor-student dynamic that is done well and high-stakes adventures with the storm chasing, then Whirlwind definitely delivers on all of those fronts. It's a passionate journey, but also filled with danger that you're really not going to want to miss. And I have read a couple of storm chasing romances now, and this one definitely stands out as one that I would recommend. Now, if vampires are more your speed, that's the next 2 books that I have on this list. One is a paranormal romance and one is a fantasy romance. So let's start with paranormal, and it's Hot Vampire Next Door by Nikki St. Crowe. This is actually a 5-book series, and I did read all 5 books. I can honestly say that I haven't binged a series in one full month in a while. So the fact that I managed to stick to it and read all 5 books, I'm really proud of myself. They are on the shorter side, so that probably also helped, but I definitely wanted to get the full story before I started to forget details, and that's why I binged the whole 5 books in 1 month. Definitely binge-worthy. The series takes us into this enigmatic world of Midnight Harbor. It's a small town where there's lots of supernatural politics, and of course, there's a sizzling romance. Our protagonist is Jessie. She finds herself irresistibly drawn to her mysterious and alluring neighbor, Bran Duval, a vampire with a penchant for mischief and a body to die for. Their flirtation is anything but innocent, especially since Jessie's destiny involves pledging herself to a rival vampire family. And as secrets start to unravel and the danger starts growing, Jessie's journey of self-discovery of who she really is becomes increasingly treacherous. Now, the author has really crafted a narrative that is brimming with suspense, plenty of steamy encounters and unexpected twists, and that episodic nature of how it's written in short installments throughout the 5 books. It really kept the pacing kind of brisk, and it was perfect for readers that love cliffhangers, but also rapid developments. I think it's quite easy to breeze and binge through all 5. And if you're into a bit of forbidden love too, lots of supernatural intrigue, and a heroine that is coming into her own power, discovering who she is and what she can do, then definitely this series, Hot Vampire Next Door, the Midnight Harbor series, will keep you hooked from the first page to the last. Also, if you love a ton of supernatural creatures within a small town environment with, of course, all the supernatural politics, this one is definitely one that I think you will enjoy. And lastly, for those who are craving a bit of more fantasy and romance blend with epic battles, but still want a vampire, then Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent is a standout for me. This is set in the expansive world of Crowns of Nyaxia, but it is a standalone novel, and it follows our heroine Selena, who is a devoted assassin. She is tasked with a mission that could alter the fate of kingdoms, which is basically to infiltrate the army of the vampire conqueror Atreus, earn his trust, and then end his life. Selena's path is filled with moral dilemmas, with forbidden desires, as she also uncovers all these different layers to Atreus that challenge her perceptions of duty and love and everything that she was told. They have this slow burn romance that is set against the backdrop of political intrigue as well and a looming war. And it was actually my first time reading Carissa Broadbent, so I find her storytelling very rich and immersive. And this book in particular had themes of identity and complexities of what's right and what's wrong, which I really enjoyed. I also think this is the perfect book for fans of enemies to lovers and morally gray characters getting their HEA, but also with intricate world building, which I think that even if you haven't read the Crowns of Nyaxia series like me, you'll be able to appreciate in this read. It's definitely left me interested to read more from this author. I think that it shows her skill of crafting worlds without info dumping anything and just keeping a nice pace and keeping the romance still front and center while giving you a very good feeling for what everything looks like and how everything works. So I was really impressed with that. I'm definitely going to be reading more from this author. And also I wanted to mention that this was our League of Lusty Ladies Kindle Unlimited book club pick for the month of March. So if you want to join a book club that reads Kindle Unlimited books every single month, you can come and join the League of Lusty Ladies. I will leave a link to the playlist where you can check out what we're reading for the current month, and you can join us there. We do alternate between a paranormal romance, historical romance, or fantasy romance, and you guys get to vote every single month for which genre you want to read the next month. And then I pick something good for you guys to read. So far, everything's been a hit, which I'm very happy for. And with that, we wrap up our Kindle Unlimited recommendations from what I read in the month of March of 2025. So whether you're into a bit of a stormy romance or seductive vampires, I think you'll enjoy these books. Also, don't forget that you can always check out more book recommendations on the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com and subscribe for free to our Substack so you get to hear about all of the content that we post across all of our platforms every single week. Let me know in the comments if you read these books or if you've already read them and what you thought of them, and if you have any other recommendations for books that you have read on Kindle Unlimited that you want to share, leave all of those in the comments. I'm also going to leave a link to a post on the blog where I shared some of the March of 2025 book releases on Kindle Unlimited. So these are new releases that came out in the month of March that I think would be great for you to add to your TBR as well. So you can check that out in the description box. If you're tuning in from YouTube, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any content that we post on our channel. But for today, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you find something wonderful to read this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!